Welcome to another week with My Amazon Guy. My name is Stephen Pope, and today we are answering live questions. I think this is my third, maybe my fourth week I've done this in a row. A lot of great information has come out from this. Really excited to interact with any of you guys. Today, if you guys want to talk about ASIN reviews, you can post your ASINs in the comment section. I will pull them up live and discuss them. You can put your competitor's ASIN in for all I care, or your own, doesn't matter. Whatever you're willing to share. Maybe you got a product that you're thinking about launching and wondering how to get an edge, post those questions as well. Pretty much anything you ask is within scope of our series here. Any Amazon questions, kind of the main theme. My Amazon Guy as an agency, we are a full service agency with 160 accounts and with lots and lots of things that we observe across those accounts, changes, those pesky pesticides, whatever it might be, we see it, we do it. Two ways we grow sales on Amazon: traffic generation through PPC and SEO, and conversion improvements through catalog management, design, and merchandising your products. All right, so we're going to start answering some questions. But before we do that, I have to say, I got to give a shout out to Adam Heist. Adam Heist had a video published yesterday with us in it, and I gotta say, really incredible, pretty much endorsement of us, and I couldn't believe how much Adam Heist went out of his way to help us out and talk about us. We did help him get a brand name change. I'm gonna post a link to the video in the chat if you're curious. You go see that. But basically, we helped him get a brand name change. Brand name changes are extremely difficult, not for the faint of hearts, and Amazon has locked down those brand name changes. If you're interested to learn how we helped Adam Heist save his $700,000 brand and change his brand name, go check out that video following our session today. All right, I'm going to start answering questions. I'm going to go top to bottom here. So if you want to get your question in early next week, add it in the first 10-minute intro. If you are watching this in the replay and have a question you didn't get a chance to watch us today, go ahead and leave that comment on the video channel. I do answer every question that comes in through my channel if I know the answer. There are sometimes I get stumped. I'm not the be-all, end-all, but I do know a lot because we see a lot of our accounts go through it. All right, so let's start with Mohit. How difficult or easy is it to report patents violations through Amazon seller support? I would say this is probably medium, not terribly hard, but not easy at the same time. And the problem is once you put in the request or the infringement for the patent, it could escalate, and that's when it becomes advanced. So if you have a patent problem and you file and contact Amazon for the infringement takedown process, which can be done through Seller Central as well as Brand Registry, I believe, they will review your claim. And in a situation where it's not clear cut, Amazon may offer the ability to arbitrate it between you and the other seller. Both you put $3,000 in to the arbitration. Amazon then uses a third party who makes a determination, sides with one of you, and reimburses, I think, 2 or 3 of the $1,000 back to the person who filed the claim. So just be prepared to go to bat and fight. I think it's completely fine to start posting a patent infringement request, but if it escalates, you're going to need to consult a lawyer. We have seen that Amazon does respect patents, but there can be a lot of things to read between the lines when it comes to this. All right, Aaron asks, a brand wants me to represent them on Amazon. They are on Canada. The US has about 6 listings already, but none were created by the actual brand. They have patents. How easy or hard would it be? Well, Aaron, I actually think it's pretty easy. If somebody's already loaded some data to another account, sometimes you'll have a little challenge getting the data to update. Sometimes also pushing data between Canada, the US, or other countries and intermingling them can be a challenge because sometimes data is shared and other times it's not. And like you could have a problem persist from one country to the other. So that's something to keep in mind. But by and large, I'd say go ahead and proceed with that, Aaron. It's a necessary growth for them. Anybody who starts in Canada should absolutely be in the US. And anybody who starts in the US, the first country they should look to expand to is Canada as well. For an extra 7% estimated gross sales can come from Canada. The UK and Germany also worth checking out, though I would go Germany first. Germany is probably worth another 25 to 33% growth of your US market. Is quite large. The UK will top out around 10%. So if you go UK, it's about the same amount of, it's like 3 times as much work as Canada, but way less effort. Aaron says to take down listings and start fresh with a brand managed listing. I'd say either way is fine. You could delete them and start fresh, or use the UPC codes. Really, no challenge there. There are several knockoffs listed in the US. I would go, however, after the knockoffs and report them for infringement on your trademark or other intellectual property if you can. MY says, I'm trying to change a brand name. It was mistakenly listed on a different brand. Amazon keeps answering that we can change it ourselves because we are the brand owner, but we can't. So that is another plug for the Adam Heist video. And we go into about 15 minutes of detail on how we changed the brand name for Adam Heist. The 30-second version of that is take a cell phone picture of your item, do a template upload, file a ticket with a link to your manufacturer's website, as well as the cell phone picture. You may also have to delete your item for 24 hours and relist it with a full template upload. And then you're going to have to fight the catalog team to basically say, hey, look, there's an error in the catalog. Please correct it, update it to my brand name. This is not a service that we offer standalone. We only do this for our full service clients because it is so difficult. It would take significant lifts to get that done. So you're going to be on a little bit of a journey on that one, M-wise. All right, let's go to our next question here. So I'm not sure how to say your name, but I have a brand registry 1 month. My status USPTO pending. My product is out of stock, and I have a hijacker. I can't prepare a report of violation. What should I do to remove the hijacker? That one's a tough one because you have to have the USPTO finalized before they will take a trademark infringement seriously. They'll give you the brand registry with a pending mark, but they won't allow you to file the infringement. Going out of stock with a hijacker, that is one of the worst things to experience. In this instance, I would go ahead and buy their product, and I would report them for being a knockoff, and basically indicate that they're selling an inferior product. So buy their product, take cell phone pictures, compare it to yours, explain how it's a knockoff, and then just aggressively try and get that person taken down. They will do a lot of damage to your listing as well as you, and they may even try and change your detail page, co-opt it, parent with their own items. Hijackers are terrible, terrible things, and you are on a large battlefront on this one. This is not going to be for the faint of heart either. This hijackers and brand name changes and parentages are probably the 3 most common worst scenarios to deal with right now as it operates to sell on Amazon. Those are terrible, terrible things to deal with. You are in for a battle. So I wish I had better advice on that one, but the reality is until that trademark goes through, you don't have a lot of leverage with Amazon, unfortunately. DrKoz, hey, what's up, Steven, from sunny Los Angeles. Well, hello there. Thank you for tuning in today. New chapter, would you advise to launch with or without reviews? If with reviews, would you advise to join the Vine Reviewer program to gather reviews, then start with PPC campaigns? So I would say you should just start, period. Review generation has never been more difficult. I'm a huge proponent of testing Vine in select categories. I wouldn't do it in any category that requires technical understanding of your product or is related to health, unless it's casual health. Like if you're doing an apple cider gummy, that's fine. But if you were trying to do like a testosterone booster, Vine would be terrible for you because the people who are getting that free product are not your target demographic, and it will cause lots of issues. So I would say definitely sign up for Vine, do the early reviewer program. But in general, a lot of the review generation strategies of old no longer work. And once you get your first review in, you will see a doubling of your conversion rates. So that first review is critical, but reviews between 2 and 20 are almost inconsequential with a small lift once you get above 20. And then the next lift is at 100. So I believe it was Preparo or somebody, I did, it's about, I don't know if somebody can find it and post it in the comment section. There's a video I did with the levels of reviews and how reviews are impacted with the number of reviews that you have. Very good video to watch on that particular topic. But I would say always start, just get it going, do what you got to do. Error code problem Shopify through Amazon. So 5606 number. So screen prints, you absolutely need to get a trademark that will solve your error code. If you don't have a trademark, you're going to need a cell phone picture and basically ask Amazon for permission to list your brand. If I'm thinking of the correct error code, I think that's the one. And I do have a dedicated video to that. Just go type in error code 5606, my Amazon guy, and that should come up. If somebody wants to post that in the comment section, help me out, feel free. New chapter. I watched that video. Really like yours and Adam Heist channel. Enjoyed the video very much. Yes, Adam is phenomenal, right? Like, just not only has he just been a great human being to me behind the scenes, and I really like his content too. He has a better production angle than I do, and he has helped me level mine up somewhat. But I have a lot to learn from Adam still, so I can't wait to catch up to him on some quality production. Is it necessary to buy UPC codes from GS1 if I'm brand registered? The answer to that question is depends. If you've ever registered your GS1 code with Amazon, you need to do it in the future. If you've never done it, don't start. If you want my honest advice, the Chinese have figured out the GS1 codes, have hacked the database, and I feel like you're going to have more trouble with GS1 codes bought directly than just simply buying retired codes off of eBay. That is not the advice Amazon would give you. That is not the official policy, but that's what we do. And I have strong opinions on this one. If GS1 had their act together, I would say do it the right way, but they simply don't. It's just a lot of effort to register your UPC codes, and there is zero benefit other than the fact that Amazon is signaling they're going to require it moving forward. So, but my personal advice, I just go buy a lot of UPCs off eBay and use them. The main reason we do that is to just avoid the problems that the GS1 database has caused with Amazon. I can't tell you how many times we've had to come in, probably 17 accounts, honestly, and we've bought UPC codes off eBay to fix GS1 issues. Jason asks, hey, Steven, good to see you. What are the biggest things to look out for when opening a new Seller Central account? I hear it's getting a lot harder. Also, does MAG help with that part of the process? So Jason, we do. Anybody who signs up for either a coaching call or full service with us, we're happy to guide you through the account setup. In fact, if you sign up for the full service with us, we will get you an invite directly from Amazon, and it bypasses all of the identity verification. I cannot guarantee that invite, but we've never been turned down as of yet. But it's meant to be for strategic partners for Amazon. We just have to find a way to articulate why you would be a strategic partner for them. We'll get you the invite. If you do it on your own, you need to have your own bank statements. And one of the most important things with the bank statement I want to emphasize is, so you see this piece of paper right here. Notice how there's space on the side, up below side. You see that? So when you take the picture of the bank statement, make sure you can see the edges of the document. That is the number one mistake people make, is they upload the bank document without having some space on the sides, and then Amazon says it's not the full bank statement and they do not approve it. Number two mistake is somebody does not upload every single page. They'll upload page 1 of 3 or 2 of 3, and they forget the third page, even if it's freaking blank. Got to upload them all. Have a regular credit card as well as your bank account, taxes, and have those things ready to roll when you open that up. And then make sure you use a new email address you've never used on Amazon. Do not use your personal Gmail address that you have an Amazon account with, and do not use an email address you've been invited to on a second Seller Central account. That avoids all the duplicate account issues. If you are opening up a new account and it's a second account, a dupe account, it's safe to do so as long as you never sell the same items across those accounts. And you need to make sure you go in and use a unique email address for the admin login when you open it up. Archie asks, my product is similar to your wine glasses, meaning one product can be targeted to multiple niches. I manufacture. Would you suggest launching 1 SKU at a time or 10 SKUs and seeing what takes off? Archie, this is a fantastic question. And it's a fantastic question for a variety of reasons. Number one, the more SKUs that you have in your catalog, the more complexity that you're taking on. And so the benefit of shotgunning is that you get to see a lot of data and see what rises to the top. In my particular business model, using lots of different wine glasses with different designs makes a lot of sense. And that's because there's just so many different verticals, niches, and my designs may be off, right? Like I may not get it right. And so I'm going to share my screen here. So just to give you an idea, right? So like this is my Momster store. I side hustle this brand. I use it as demonstration purposes for my agency. And we've got some shark wine glasses. We've got the Because angle, a #1 seller with a 42% conversion rate. I'm not drinking alone. I posted a video a couple weeks ago on this, 40-minute in-depth on how to increase your conversion rates. Go check that out. And there's just so many different angles, like the for him and her angle, the wine lover angle, just way so many options. And so for me, having lots of SKUs is the way to go because I get to test all these different designs. You never know like which one's going to take off. I'm always surprised that one does better than another. And that's why the shotgun approach works in this instance. And then, but at the same time, it increases your complexity. That's more listings you got to create, more ads you have to run. And so it just depends on your willingness to increase your complexity. If you have 1,000 SKUs, you may scare off a buyer of your account. We had a client that is interested in selling their Amazon business. We introduced them to an Amazon aggregator, and that aggregator took one look at their SKU count and said, I'm out. And so there is sometimes having too many SKUs makes it complex to run the account, makes it less attractive. So I would say a brand with under 10 SKUs, over $2 million gross a year is the strike zone for Amazon aggregators if you want to sell your company right now. That's definitely in hot demand at the moment. All right, I scrolled too far and I'm going back up here to see which ones I may have missed. We got a lot of questions to get to. I'm excited to this. Let's go. A lot of meat and potatoes today. All right, I think I'm back to where I was. All right, DrKoz, regarding posts, what is your experience? I'm getting some excellent interactions with them. Any tips on increasing post interactions? I would say that this is an underrated area that most people are not paying attention to right now, and it's very important that you spend some time here. You can get 1 million impressions on your competitors' listings for your items. If you're not familiar with Amazon posts, let me see if I can get. I think I found the article. I'll post this in the comment section here as soon as I get this loaded. But basically, there's a great tutorial I have on how to register for Amazon posts. And all right, let's see if I can find this. Amazon posts, my Amazon guy. I'm trying to hire a social media liaison so they can like pull content, post it live when we do this. Let's see. Found it. All right, here we go. So this post that I have, and I'll share my screen. It walks you through how to set up Amazon posts. So if you haven't done Amazon posts yourself yet, go check out this link here. You're going to go to post.amazon.com/profiles, upload a logo, begin posting. Really basic stuff. It's like Instagram for Amazon, and you can get a lot of traction and view counts across listings in your niche. It's free advertising. There's no cost to this, and because it's like Instagram, you can also schedule posts ahead of time. So I would recommend trying to get a post out there every day. And what people love to see is like the end user using the product. Those are the perfect type of posts that you can get if possible. So show the product in use. So I've got my failed hot sauce product here. And we're showing it on some meatballs, right? It's because it's product in use. Even better than that, though, would be like somebody eating a meatball with a fork, and you can see their smiling face. Those are the kind of posts I'd recommend. Be sure to have diversity in your type of posts. Look at the data, see which one gets the most impressions, and then that's the best way to optimize for that program. All right, Mohammed asks, what is the fastest Amazon warehouse in terms of checked in and receiving shipments? I actually do not know the answer to this, but this is a valid inquiry. And I would say that it rotates. There are some warehouses that are just really bad and slow check-in times. And then LTL check-in times right now have been as long as 30 days. That does not seem to have gotten easier in the last month, surprisingly. I don't know why. I don't think Amazon's still inundated but they clearly are, because if they weren't, they would have eased the SKU shipping restrictions by now. So the warehouses that check in stuff coming into Amazon probably still have a little bit of backlog, and there's just so much rush to sell products on Amazon. They're probably just simply out of space right now. But if you're going to try and game like where your warehouse goes, what I would do is, see what your check-in times are for the warehouse in question. If you have a problem with that one, then just select a different state from where you're shipping from. This only works with UPS shipments. This will not work with LTL. And then it will give you a different location to ship it to. That's the best advice if you're having problems with a specific warehouse, but I do not have a recommendation on which warehouse to chase. Glenn asked, do you know anyone who has gone down the 3,000 patent route? Presumably the infringer would normally back out. I do not personally, but I do have 2 attorneys that I've referred business to that have. You're probably correct. The infringer is more likely to back out once the arbitration process starts. My attorney wrote my brand name in all caps. Oh no, that's not good. We see this all the time. Under a literal mark on my design trademark, the trademark image is logo, brand name. Is Amazon going to have a problem with this for brand registry? Yes, they most likely will. And what I would do if I were in your shoes is I would go file for brand registry, but do it in proper case. Amazon is going to reject that, but do it anyway, and just ask them if they'll accept it with proper case. You could also ask for an alias and file some cases if you get accepted under the all caps, and then try and get the alias set. But it's a big pain in the butt. My honest advice: go file a new trademark. We have a great trademark service, $775, and we've been filing 2 trademarks a day this entire year. I'm going to post a link to the trademark service. This is one of my favorite entry-level services to get onboarded with my Amazon guy, and that's because it's so effective. And it's really, really speedy quick. So you get your serial number within 1 business day from us, and then you go file it on Amazon's brand registry day 5. And so if you have a brand problem right now, it's much easier. It's going to cost you less time and effort just to file a new trademark and do a word mark with us. I'd never, ever, ever recommend doing a creative mark for the purposes of Amazon, because the mark can be misinterpreted. It causes a lot of problems. So this topic is one of the topics I have the most content on the internet. I have a dozen different trademark videos, 20 brand registry videos. There's a playlist for my brand registry and everything that I've posted. Let me see if I can post a link to that. If you have questions about brand registry, that's the place to go. All right, so going into my playlist here to find brand registry. And we'll post a link to that, copy link location. All right, so there's the brand registry link posting in the comment section. Looks like it's getting delayed on my chat there. There it goes. All right, so let's go to the next question here. Let's go. Okay, I didn't want to skip MY. Is my Amazon guy doing images and infographics? If yes, can you share some of your listings? So yes, we have a la carte services for infographic edits. We actually rolled out a new page for this the other day. It's under our design dropdown on our website. Let me share my screen here, and I'll post a link to this one as well. Images have a really big impact on conversion rates, and making sure that you take an image like this, put it on white. Obviously, that's the basic stuff. But then take an image like this and push it into an infographic so you can see all that. There's our price tag. We're definitely on the pricier side for image graphics, but we also a lot of thought is put into it. A bunch of free information, FAQs, and some examples on some of the work we've done on Brand Store, A+ content, a bunch of testimonials, a lot of different graphics we've made. If anybody's interested, you can check that out. Jason asks, I've had a lot of trouble changing the listing size attribute. I tried everything, including deleting the listing, adding again with full updates, still nothing. Brand registered. Jason, you are probably in one of the lucky categories where somebody on the retail team came and swooped in like a seagull, crapped everywhere, and changed your attributes and left and didn't tell you. I've seen this a dozen times in the past month. The honest answer is you will have to file one-to-one tickets on your size attribute and convince them to override the retail contribution. Huge pain in the body. I got a little hiccup here. I might drink some water, talking too much. Big challenge involved in getting those size attributes overrided. and it will break up your parentage and cause a lot of other problems as well. So take it very seriously. Do prioritize getting those sizes fixed, but I guarantee you the retail team overrode you. That's the problem. That's why it's not taking. If you're in grocery, supplements, health, sports, those are the categories I've seen get hit the most from size attributes getting locked. Jimmy asks, I've had a trademark complaint incorrectly applied to an ASIN. I've sent FB everything they asked for, but I keep getting the same stock response. Safe to delete the ASIN, upload as new. Jimmy, that's the easiest answer, honestly. That will avoid having to convince them to release the claim against your product. But if you've got reviews and other things you're trying to protect, I would keep fighting. We do have a reinstatement service. Again, we're on the expensive side, $1,000, but we can reinstate it almost guaranteed. And we do know how to fight those. There's specific language that you need to post in that plan of action that if you want to get it reinstated, you got to say certain things, right? You got to basically prove that you're not infringing, update the copy. You might have to do a template upload and write a plan of action that addresses that. Helen asks, hey, my Amazon guy, big fan. Why was my shipped units number and received units not consistent? Examples, sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. Ship 20, receive 16, ship 14, receive 24. This is because the warehouse miscounted your items, or they like transferred 6 of them out to another location and lost them. This is very, very common. I don't mean to make this hour like a giant like advertisement for my services. That was not the intent, but the last 4 or so questions, I have a direct service that addresses each of these issues. My refund guy, which I just posted in the comment section, is the service that you need, Helen, to go claw back the refunds on that. The first $500 are free when you sign up for the service. And then after that, it's 25% of anything we claw back. Go to my refund guy to check that out. I highly recommend this service. It's not worth your time getting in the weeds and filing tickets for 3 or 4 units being lost. Hire an external service for that. Whether you hire me or somebody else, I highly recommend it. All right. Gandalf, the black is the certificate of origin for my LLC has a comma in the name. Do I have to include the comma when setting up the Amazon account? Probably, just because making it exact match makes it a little bit easier. But to be very clear, that's only the legal name. That's not the display name, the brand name, the title, the manufacturer. Like none of those attributes are public. All those public facing attributes do not need the comma, do not need your LLC. This is strictly a legal document question. And so go ahead, Gandalf, and file that with the comma. No problem at all. Tessa says, for trademarks, do you have any insight if it's difficult to file a first and last name followed by other words? Example, Stephen Pope, home decor. As long as you are the person, I think those will go through. I don't actually think we've ever filed an author name before, but I know it's possible. I have probably 8 author clients, and I'm trying to think who would know the answer to that. I think almost all of them decided to trademark their brands and not their author name. Or their person, but Tessa, I would expect that would probably go through for you. A lot of celebrities obviously trademark their name in certain categories and whatnot. So I totally know it's possible. I've just never done it. Glenn says, can you say what a full service client program does? Absolutely. If you go to my regular channel page, you'll see a 15-minute video where I walk through this in detail. And it's called the gross sales video. But in short, 30 seconds here, we grow sales. We do this in 2 ways. Grow traffic through PPC and SEO. And second, improve your conversion rate through design and catalog work. On this service page, go to full service here. You can see a breakdown of all the services. It's basically everything within Seller Central. We just did, we helped Chirp get off the ground. We launched these guys from scratch. These guys are rather large. They're an 8-figure brand, and they were on Shark Tank about a month ago. So we like to showcase their work and show it off because I think it's a good design. But any listing optimization, parentage, catalog work, reinstatements, listing errors, product reviews, research, managing the case log, social posts, weekly reporting, meet with a member of our team member. And we even talk about like our typical onboarding and what that looks like. So that's the full service program. If you want to learn more, schedule a call with my father. He's the sales manager. We actually just got so busy that I'm not taking many sales calls anymore. And I'm going to post a link to my father's calendar in the comment section. If you want to if you want to learn more about our service, book a call with my father, Dan, and you can talk to him. He is a retired weatherman that's helping me out and has watched a lot of my coaching videos and can talk in general about what we do. So definitely check that out. All right, so let's go to Mo. Your offer is paused for potential quality issues. How to solve this issue? Well, Mo, this one is also another difficult. It typically is a 72-hour review from Amazon. They will often reinstate it with no action on your part. If it's been longer than 72 hours, you need to push them to get it reinstated. It's usually because the customer has complained. Like, let's say you were selling something and it was opened already, sold used as new, or there was a safety problem. That's when they would typically do something. Amazon is very much a shoot first, ask questions later. And that's why that situation occurs. You may need to file a plan of action depending on the outcome of that research. Luca asks, do you think GTIN exemptions has any consequences for doing brand registry down the line? Yes. I think that you should load a UPC on every single product all the time, no matter what, because the data will get out of hand if you don't. There is a lot of consequences to not loading a UPC, including the ability to locate missing reviews. If the listing ever gets deleted, there's a lot of net benefits to loading a UPC. I am not in favor of a GTIN exemption, but we've seen a lot of people that have done it, and it's definitely possible to do. All right, I got to book through a lot of questions here. Would you advise to wait for a few reviews, then start PPC, or start PPC from the beginning? Absolutely start PPC from the beginning. Get sales in the door, as many as you can. You need sales to get sales. If you wait for reviews, it's a hurry up and wait game, not worth waiting. Rosalind asks, I set up remote FBA in Canada for kitchen product, but my toy product did not transfer. The toy ASIN also did not show up in the catalog. Next steps, do I create a new listing? Remote FBA right now is in beta. It's totally broken. It's not worth trying to finagle. And what I would do is I would just ship your product directly into FBA for the countries you want it in. Usually it's from the US going into Canada. That's the best option for you. They may revamp it in April. That's the rumor. They're going to call it something new, like Blue Box or something. I can't remember for sure what I heard rumor of, but with all Amazon rumors, it's never true until you actually see it yourself. All right. We got a spam message on that one. All right. This is the first time that's ever happened to me, guys. I've never had spam messages. All right, cool peeps. Hi, Steven. Great to see you live. QQ, I have a SKU that is the right brand, registered brand title on the listing, but is not able to get A+ content. Any ideas? Well, thank you for stopping by live. You've been a true fan. I see your comments all over the place. It means a lot to me. Thank you for doing that. Anytime anybody leaves a comment on my video, it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Go out of your way, even if it's just to say hello. It's helpful. I have a SKU that has the brand registered title on the listing, but is not able to get A+ content. So that is probably a brand node ID issue. And you just may need to do a full update, make sure a UPC is loaded, and get the template uploaded. And then if that doesn't solve it, I would be surprised if that doesn't solve it, then just file a ticket asking to make sure that they've set the brand node ID. If you have a brand store in place, you do have a brand node ID and you can rule that out. It's probably just needs the UPC and a full template upload to fix it. Tessa says, I saw your video with Adam and your agency is hiring. What positions are you looking to fulfill? Any job posting descriptions you can direct us to. Tessa, I am hiring everything from account directors all the way down to entry-level Amazon specialists. We've had a lot of good growth. We're growing really fast, and I can't seem to hire fast enough right now. It's a good problem to have, and I'm trying to make sure we keep our offering as high as possible for our clients. And so I just need to get as many people in the door right now as possible. And it's very much, I feel like I'm in the pupating stage of an agency going from startup mode to big pants growth agency. So that's kind of where we are right now. I have most of the jobs posted on Indeed right now. I'm also hiring for a social media liaison. I will see if I can post a link to all of our jobs right now. Let's see if I can figure this out. I don't know how to do this on Indeed where you post a link to all of your jobs. But let me see if I can. So I'll post in the agency account director job. Let's see if it's a public page. All right, so there's one. That's the account director position. And we are also hiring Amazon specialists. I'll post that one next. We are looking for people who have like 1 to 2 years in selling on Amazon. We want people who have their own Amazon accounts. Those are our ideal candidates because we know that what we have is caveman fire and you want the caveman fire. And so come work for us to get that caveman fire so we can help you grow your own business. And then you also help other clients simultaneously. The social media liaison right now is probably my #1 most desired hire because I need somebody to post and update my content and write more content for us. So hopefully anybody that wants to apply, you can email jobs@myamazonguy, send your resume, let us know what you're looking for as well. We have about 8 or 10 jobs open at the moment. All right. Leslie says, have you seen sellers successfully maintain 2 seller accounts in the same niche? Great video with Adam Heist yesterday. A lot of people have seen that video and it makes me really happy. So I would say it's as long as you don't sell the exact SKU, you can have multiple accounts in the same niche. If you cross the SKU lines, that's when you're breaking the rules. I do believe that Amazon probably does not want you to have 2 accounts in the same niche, but I'll be honest, I've seen it all the time without any problem. So I think it's safe to do. And I would say just go ahead and open up that second account and do what you want to do. Oftentimes you'll have like, company 1 will have partner 1 and 2, and then company 2 will have partner 3 and 4, right? So like when that happens, you do have to have multiple accounts. Otherwise you can't like structure the taxes, the banking and all that good stuff. Hey, Kel says, I went out of stock. Then after 4 weeks, I'm back, activated a PPC with high CPC to get back on the first page for 1 keyword. Now my campaign has stopped delivering. Guess expenses more than income. So, hey, Kel, I would say you might have like, is your ad banned? Like, did it get suppressed somehow? Make sure you go check so click into the campaign structure, go all the way down to the ad group and look at the product to see if the ad is suspended. And in addition to that, Google your ASIN on, when I say Google, I really mean search it in Amazon. So let me see if I can demonstrate what I'm talking about here, and I'll do that live. So if I go into my inventory, I'm just going to pick a random ASIN for one of my products, and then I'm going to share my screen here. Share screen. All right, so this is how you check for a hidden suppression. There is no tool on the market right now that does this. You type in the ASIN just like this. If your product comes up, you don't have a problem. If your product comes up or doesn't come up, you have what's called a hidden suppression, and you may need to update the title or the main image. Those are the top 2 culprits. So I would check for that just in case to see if that's your problem. Chris says, why my shipped units number and received units number are not consistent. Okay, I think I answered that one already. Let me see if Lunga, I have an account already with an LLC. Also have an Inc., which is under my name too, and the address is the same. Different bank account at another bank. Am I good for a second account? Yes, you are. As long as you have a unique bank, you're fine. The address can be the same. Not going to have any problems there. DrKoz asks, do you recommend adding videos to competitor listings, not as a seller, but as a customer? I guess I don't want to endorse anything that could be construed as a black hat tactic, but yes, that is a valid strategy. I've seen people do it, and you load it from your customer account. So I've never personally done it myself. I'm just aware of the tactic, and I would say that one's probably in the gray zone. But if you do it to your competitors, they're probably going to do it back. And if somebody does it to you first, I mean, it's just going to create a series of friction, right? Because it's not of the actual product. So I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, it's actually really easy to do. Dave says, as I'm scaling my brand, I have items that don't have the best margins as my main product. Do I source them anyway to go deep and take the 15 to 20% margins? All right, so I'm going to let that one sink in for a little bit here. So not having the best margins, source them anyway. So I would say if you are a product expert, yes, proceed. If you are just looking at this item as one of the things in your tool shed, maybe not. And that's because you could shift to other items anyway. If you could find a way to raise your prices, maybe change out a feature to make it more elegant as far as you market it, it could be the same exact item packaged differently and raise your prices to increase your margins, you may want to consider it. The fact is, raising prices is a really legitimate tactic. Updates on the 200 limit, Andre asks, and I'd say have not heard anything official. When I've been doing my own shipments for Momster, I've seen less of the error message. I do believe that they've done like a hidden update on this, and the word was that it's going to change to 1,000. When they typically do an FBA update, it usually drops on a Friday. So if it happens, that's usually when it happens. And so I would do like Friday overnight, that is. So I would check on Saturday morning every week if you're having that problem. That's the best thing to do to keep an eye on it. Masomi says, could you help understand Amazon fees? It seems like I get charged some huge amount every few days, even on low sales. How can I contact Amazon on this? So I would say we have a little fee calculator as well as the FBA fee calculator you might want to check out. But how to forecast sales on Amazon, posting that in here. How to forecast sales link. So just posted that in the chat. You may want to give that a whirl. I would go through your P&L on Amazon to figure out where the fees are coming from. They're most likely coming from two areas. Advertising is usually the number one culprit. And number two is FBA fees, like your prep fees and stuff like that. So when you go into the payments report on Amazon, you can actually get a breakdown of where all those fees are going, and it will funnel you and you can figure out where you need to go. You also may want to consider, depending on what your scale is, like if you're large enough, then you might want to consider asking an accountant like Tyler Jeffco over at Seller Accountant. We're big fans of them. Day says, push more sales to get limits increased. Took me 2 weeks. So yes, once you have more sales come through the door, the limits will go up. Dave is correct on that. Joe Shaw, current client with us at Flying Swine. I had a problem with UPC, was forced to abandon my GS1 registered and purchased codes, tried corrective action using GS1, but Amazon still forced me to use their codes. So Joe, in your category, you're in grocery, so you have to use the FNSKU labels on your products, and there's no getting around that, unfortunately. So GS1, or I think in your case, Joe, when I looked at this issue, it wasn't the UPC codes that were the problem. It's just that every grocery item has to have an FNSKU barcode on it. I think that's where the challenge is. Hey, Mr. Burns. So Brett is commenting on my really silly looking Mr. Burns YouTube thumbnail. I'm going to share that on screen here so everybody can make fun of it. I thought it was really funny looking, but I don't know if it was a good idea or not to do it. So here's the Mr. Burns thumbnail. My view count on this video was quite low, so that tells me I either titled it wrong or I used a terrible thumbnail. I don't know which of the two it is. If you think that thumbnail was good or bad, please let me know in the comment section. Tell me what you think. I honestly don't know, but I thought it was funny looking and went with it. But in any case, that video was actually a good piece of content talking about Amazon aggregators. And we launched this new Amazon aggregator page, and I was actually really excited about it. But that piece of content is not performing well. So either I'm doing the wrong content or I marketed it the wrong way, and I don't know which of the two it is. Brett says, I made a mistake of creating multiple listings, one with all caps and first character capitalized, and I'm brand registered with the all caps. EBC are all good. So I would change everything to make it consistent, or ask Amazon for an alias. If you already have everything in place, all your EBC is fine, then I would probably go for the alias angle and just send a link to both ASINs in the ticket and say, hey, I'm requesting to get a trademark alias, all caps versus proper case. Can you please approve that? I've actually never made that request before, but it's something I recently became aware of about a week ago. And I think you should give that one a whirl, Brett. Report back what happens for you. Lunga says, thanks for the feedback. Forgot to tell you that my other bank account is on the same address. Still good to go. Yes, you are, Lunga. You're good. All right, DrKoz. Hey, Steven, I think we lost the rest of your comments. We'll come down to you here. Not all of my US ASINs are available on other international marketplaces. All of my listings as consistent with UPC, but availability seems random when search ad product in other marketplaces. So have you DrKoz, have you put all of your items into FBA in each of these countries? If so, that would be unusual. If you're talking about like remote fulfillment, or if you're live in like Germany and you're wondering why you can't find it on the UK marketplace, it's because you need to ship directly into those FBA programs. Nathan asks, have you ever had the same ASIN flag for HazMat review multiple times? That is a good question. Have I ever seen that? I don't think I have, Nathan. How like maybe it never cleared to begin with, and you just got the shipment to go through. Maybe they updated their policy on it. But if you have like flammable battery, anything like that, that may be the issue. So honestly, I don't think I've ever seen that, Nathan. That would be unusual. So that one's probably worth a call into the Amazon team. Anytime I see something new, I always call into Amazon, even though it's like a 1 in 10 chance I'm going to learn something new. It's still worth placing the call. DrKoz clarifies, not all of my US ASINs are available on other international marketplaces. All of my listings are consistent with UPC. All right, so I think, yeah, still need more info on that one, DrKoz. Jacob says, hello, just happens my last name is Smithers. Well, hello, Mr. Smithers. Yeah, I love that mention. You know, I'm trying to add a little flavor into my thumbnails. And so like when I was a kid, I played Pokemon. I do like Simpsons. And so like when I'm having my creative team, like play with it a little bit, putting some flavor in. So it's been fun. Bella says, great thumbnail, title off. Only reason I clicked was the thumbnail, but the video was actually good info. All right. What should that title be? I wonder. So here's the title I put. Is it time to sell your 7-figure business? Amazon FBA aggregators update. That was the title here. So let's put it up on screen. I do not know what the title of this should have been, if not that, because that is definitely what the content is about. But if you have an idea, let me know. I'm very keen to make improvements here to get better views and interact with people that are interested. So let me know what you think. We have one last question in queue here. I have about 10 more minutes if you want to ask a few more questions. We're finally down to the bottom of the question queue. Mandolin says, sell more at lower prices, get more reviews, or keep at higher prices and a better margin. This depends at the level. This is a great question. This depends on like where you're at in the product life cycle, right? So like if you think that your competitors have a bigger piece of the pie and you want to gain pieces of that pie, then it is completely appropriate to go for lower prices and more reviews to try and gain the market share. I would test raising the price every so often and see what that does to your conversion rates. Chances are a price raising will not affect your conversion rates. It's pretty typical that we see this. I've tested it many, many times that conversion rates are typically not affected by the price. And so because of that, you should chase the margin whenever possible, right? Like our job as a marketer is to do 4 things: sell more product to more people more often for more money. And the 4th one is the one that everybody forgets, which is the more money. So I would say, you know, test it out, see what happens. You never know. But if you are in the first 3 months of your product, I would go lower prices. If you're at the year mark, I would go for margin 100% of the time. Mark says, I know you guys no longer do parentages. We don't as an a la carte service just because it's been so difficult. But yes, if you book a call with Dustin or Saban, we can absolutely do parentage work on a coaching call with you. The reason we stopped offering it as an a la carte service is because Amazon kept breaking the parentages. And it was like, I'd keep getting asked, people would ask me for refunds. And I'm like, we built the parentage, we did it correctly. It's just Amazon's just being really picky. So we had to stop offering that for anybody that wasn't full service with us. But yeah, if you're interested, hire us for a coaching call. Dustin or Saban or myself, all capable of building parentages. I'll post a link to the coaching call there. Sam asks, great content. Any confirmed news about why the top supplements in the testosterone booster category got removed? Nothing confirmed per se. I just know that Amazon's policy and regulations are going way up in the supplements industry. Our supplements clients are really fed up. They're very taxed with all of the COA and ISO lab and all that garbage you have to go through. There are certain ingredients that are getting flagged. Long story short, if your item is banned from Amazon ads, chances are you're going to have a hard day, hard time growing it, first of all, and also a hard time getting, staying compliant with Amazon. So it's a very difficult field to be in. It's also another thing you can gauge is like market forces. So what are the Amazon aggregators buying right now? Not supplements. And so because of that, just proceed with caution in that particular category. Brett says, what's your strategy for remote fulfillment pricing? What percentages do you recommend? So I would say probably a 30% price hike for remote fulfillment. Translate the currency and then hike it 30%, because you're just going for incremental gains, and you don't necessarily need to win that marketplace. It's a pure profit play, in my opinion, when you're doing remote fulfillment. If you were going for pie acquisition, then you need to ship directly into FBA, and remote fulfillment is not sufficient. All right, let's go to, I skipped a couple here. Lucas says, do you think printing the brand name on the OPP plastic bag packaging will pass the brand approval process? Actually, surprisingly, I think it will. Putting a sticker on should do it justice, believe it or not. Chris says, help, if my products are adult toys and when I search my brand or products, it's not shown. What do I do? I'm registered on the listing on Amazon Seller Central. So I don't have a lot of good advice for you, Chris. Adult products are kind of a quagmire. We don't offer any services for adult products at all. And it's just because I don't feel comfortable asking my employees to manage some of that. But I would say, if you have a search problem, make sure that the category ID is set. That's advice for anybody. Make sure you have the category ID set. If it's blank, that's the answer to your question. If it's suppressed, Google your own ASIN. Search your own ASIN on Amazon. If it doesn't come up, you have a hidden suppression. It has nothing to do with your category. It has everything to do with the main image or the title. Give those a whirl and report back. I have been supplying Amazon with CSPC and safety sheets, and they keep going around and around saying they need clear documents. How do we get it to make it? Sheesh. So I would say make sure that when you take the picture of the document, make sure the document is seen from all around it. So like have a little bit of space around it. If any part of the page is cut off, even just the corner of a page, they're going to reject it. Try that. That may be the advice you need to get that to go through. Dave says, so you're saying my conversion rate at 70% to 112% are good? Question mark. I think you're being sarcastic, not 100% sure. But what I would say is that any conversion rate between 4% and lower is bad. I would say from 5% to 10 would be average. Anything above 11% is great. And above 20%, you're either not spending enough on ads or exceptional, one of those two. DrKoz, on another topic, I notice when I fill FBA really full, I get more sales. Does Amazon see how much inventory and prop the listing higher? I have no confirmation on that, but I suspect yes. I've heard at least 3 people speculate about that. So there's probably something there. Keeping yourself stocked can help sales. The irony behind that, of course, is you can't ship in as much as you want to right now. So it's a little challenging there. Dave says with 40 to 60 sales a day and 2 to 3 ROI, I'm good then. Yes, you absolutely are, Dave. You're doing great. Pramod says, is Amazon FBA still profitable? Yes. However, not for commodity items that the Chinese can rip you off on. You need to build a community. You need to build a brand. Otherwise, you're in for a very sore battle. Jacob says, we are looking at removing all of our barcodes on our products and just leaving it blank. We plan on adding stickers later at our center, such as FN SKU. What do you recommend? I think that's totally fine, Jacob. There's no downside to that unless you're trying to go into brick and mortar. If you're in a category that requires FN SKU, then I would say you might as well just print the FN SKU straight onto the item. Save you some trouble. That's what I would do if I were you. We're also doing this to the quantity variations and problems we've had with Amazon FBA. I don't understand the correlation between your 2 points here, Jacob, because if they're mislabeling it, if they're like putting the wrong FN SKU label on, that could be a whole different ball game, I guess, but not sure what you're getting at there to be 100% sure. How much time to rank my keywords in Amazon? So I would say in the first 30 days, you should shoot for between 800 and 1,200 keywords indexed. If you do that, you've got a successful launch. Anything less than 500, you didn't do it right. You didn't spend enough money, not enough on PPC or otherwise. And I'd say month 2, try and get to 2,000 keywords index. And then after that, everything else is about matriculation of strike zone keywords to get them high as possible on Amazon. Any word on global ratings? Seems spammy to me. When you say global ratings, are you asking about like product reviews shared across countries? Let me know, clarify on that one. Love your content. What do you think about Amazon Aggregate's business model? Is it going to become huge? Do you think this trend will crush smaller sellers? I have a lot of content on this topic right now. My Monday video was completely about this topic, the Mr. Burns thumbnail. Go check that one out because I feel very strongly that it's a game changer. The mom and pop shops are going to be squeezed from the left by the Chinese who are selling your commodity items and ripping them off. And you're going to be squeezed from the right with increased competition because the Amazon aggregators are absolutely going to go to bat and spend lots of money trying to beat you and grow their brands faster than yours. So if you are able to keep up with the complexities that it requires to sell on Amazon, then keep doing that, right? Like don't sell. But if you can't, now is the best time to sell your business on Amazon. Definitely not passive income. You have to put out some effort to grow your brand by any stretch. Andrew says, external PPC Google should be profitable. Or should we not expect much profit? Just expect to boost ranking. Andrew, I have had to pivot away from my AdWords days because Amazon has taken so much of my time and effort. We've been a full service agency on Amazon, and most agencies aren't even full service on Amazon. So I would say that I would test it. If you have knowledge in Google, test it, run some campaigns to Amazon. The tracking is getting better on Google. It's terrible on Facebook. Facebook is impossible. Google is still solid though. Give that a whirl and let me, feel free to let me know how that goes for you. But I would say that the tracking mechanisms that Amazon provides for external traffic is very weak right now. Manolin, you're very welcome. Thanks for stopping by. DrKoz, when running out of stock, I heard you say to increase pricing. Others like Kevin King say not to do this. Can you clarify the pros and cons? I would say I am a margin guy more than I am a growth guy. And I think that the benefits of, getting your margins out of your business has better dividends. And I think that's the biggest pro. But if you stock out at high velocity, in theory, your business ranking could be paused or saved and you resume back in stock at the same rating. That's kind of the big debate. Nobody knows for 100% certainty on this question. And so it just depends like how long you're going to be out of stock for. If it's for like 1 week, I would prevent the stock out. I would raise prices. If it's going to be for like 6 months, I would still go for margin personally. But others may say stock out at high velocity, just like Kevin King said. You're correct. There is competing theory on this. All right, we're going to wrap up our questions here. I got 4 or 5 more I'll take, and then I got to wrap today. Brett says, I guess I'm not sure how global ratings are left. Most bad reviews I get are global ratings with no text. Okay, when you say global ratings, you mean like the when you hit the 5-star button but don't write anything? That's because about a year ago, Amazon changed the product reviews, and you no longer are forced to write a review with your product review. And so that's where that's coming from. There's really nothing you can do about that, Brett. Yes, you're going to have some competitors come in and write some 1-star reviews. Absolutely, it's definitely going to happen. Nothing you can do about that. This is not an area that I would lose sleep over. I would just focus on trying to improve your product and advertise and generate as much sales as you can. Those are the things you got control over. Isa says, hey, Steve, I'm in the DS category. Received an email saying we need to reapply 4 of our 6 products by May. And by DS, I think he means dietary supplements. However, Amazon just took down our bestseller yesterday's. Any thoughts? We're working on docs. You are in for a long battle in the supplements category. This is not going anywhere anytime soon. There is just so many challenges in this category. Get your ISO certifications in as quickly as you can. Ask for reinstatement. Give them the ingredient list and keep reapplying for as much as possible. You will get all of those products will go down unless you get that documentation. Like this is a red alert type of thing. You may benefit from hiring an expert to consult with you. I can look at your documents and tell you what they're looking for. But at bare minimum, talk to your manufacturer, let them know what's going on, tell them what you need. This is a big deal. Do not underestimate how big of a deal it is. Chris, do you help with writing appeals for dropshipping? So while our brand is very much for brand builders and private labelers, the appeal process is pretty much the same for dropshipping. And yes, we do, Chris. If you want to hire us for either $1,000 reinstatement or hire one of our coaches, Dustin or Saban, are great on this topic. Saban is very capable of helping you with any appeal that you need. Feel free to hit us up on our coaching website. Go to myamazonguy.com, click on the coaching button in the top right. So here you can see, here's our coaches. Saban is really good at listing problems like listing reinstatement. So is Dustin. Dustin actually wrote our playbook on this question. So very, very good stuff. All right. Joe says, if you're trying to gather capital for expanding all areas of your brand on and off Amazon, do you recommend anyone you've spoken with for investors? There is so much money dumping into this right now, Joe, that there is probably a dozen options you could seek. Every option from an aggregator, from I'm trying to think. I've done like 2 or 3 podcasts on raising capital, and I'm blanking on the names of them. But let me think about this. So raising funds, my Amazon guy. Every time I can't remember one of my podcasts, I always Google. Let's see. So Payoneer did a moving money with Ben Stein podcast 106. Accrue.me might be one to check out. They have some capital raising as well. I feel like there's another one I did as well on top of that. But there's some good topics and good locations you can raise funds, Joe. I don't think it would be challenging for you to raise capital right now. Chris says, thanks for your answer, Steve. If my ASIN is not shown in Amazon search, what do I do? Then that's when you need to fix the title or the main image. It's getting suppressed, 100%. Products are listed and selling in both areas. All right, so I got to wrap here. Going to fit one more question in. Isa says, if product in the dietary supplements is approved, any idea if it will be good for all dietary supplements? Actually, no. It's 1-to-1 now. You're going to need ISO documents for every single product. Really, really important. Last question I'm taking today is coming from Jacob. Yay, they are misscanning our quantity variations. For example, single bottles have F and SKUs, and we send a double pack. Ouch, that one hurts. I would say, yeah, remove your UPCs from the items and put the 2-pack F and SKU on the exterior of the bottle. Hey, Steven, hats off. Great job here. You're a gun. Well, you're very welcome. Brett, you're also welcome. Isa, you're also welcome. Everybody's saying thank you. That makes me feel good. Thanks for coming by today. I have a lot of video content, over 600 videos on Amazon. Leave a comment on any video on any topic, and I will personally respond to it myself. I'm all about helping all Amazon sellers. We are in this together. It's us against Amazon. It's not us against each other as sellers. It's not against me against another agency. It's very much all of us as a community against Amazon because they're the ones that make it hard. So thanks for tuning in today. That's our live stream for today. We'll do another one of these next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching the replay on this, leave a comment on this video. I will absolutely leave a response to you. Thank you all for watching, and check out My Amazon Guy at My Amazon Guy.